Let's dive right into this explainer because today we are tackling one of the absolute most critical conversations of the 21st century. We're looking at the rise of fully autonomous AI, and we really have to ask ourselves, should we ever let machines decide entirely on their own?
To set the stage, let's jump ahead to Section 1, the year 2050. I want you to imagine a truly cinematic vision of the future. The year is 2050, and a massive cargo ship is crossing the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. But here's the catch. There is absolutely no captain on the bridge and zero crew walking the decks. Instead, deep beneath the surface, automated systems are seamlessly managing the massive engines. And up on the bridge, an AI agent is operating the vessel completely independently. For weeks at a time, this huge ship completes its journey without a single ounce of direct human intervention. The AI is just constantly analyzing everything on the fly, from changing weather and ocean currents to fuel consumption, nearby vessels, and satellite data. Now, what's really wild is that by this point, similar automated systems are operating everywhere. It's not just cargo ships, right? We're talking about factories running continuously overnight in the dark, power grids flawlessly balancing massive electricity demand, spacecraft exploring distant planets all by themselves, warehouses fulfilling millions of orders, and entire transportation networks just coordinating themselves effortlessly.
Which brings us to Section 2, the real question.
See, because of this rapid advancement, the debate is no longer about whether artificial intelligence can automate tasks. We already know it can. So the absolutely crucial point we have to address, especially as today's AI agents already independently organize our schedules, monitor computer networks, and analyze complex financial data, is this central question. How much decision-making should we actually allow AI to handle on its own? Let's unpack that in Section 3, autonomy versus responsibility.
In almost every important application today, humans remain responsible for the final decisions. Why? Because autonomy and responsibility are simply not the same thing. On one hand, you have AI autonomy, where an AI might evaluate a vast amount of information remarkably quickly. But on the other hand, you have human responsibility. It is people who actually define the safety boundaries, establish the rules, and remain fully accountable.
Let's look at a practical example of this. Picture an autonomous delivery drone flying across a city. Everything goes exactly according to plan until, suddenly, severe weather develops. The drone immediately faces a dilemma and must choose between three possible actions. Does it return home, land safely nearby, or continue toward its destination? Each option has its own advantages and risks. An AI can instantly process those variables, sure, but human-defined safety rules must rigidly guide that ultimate decision. We see this exact same principle in healthcare. Imagine a hospital where an AI system flags an unusual medical pattern and recommends additional testing. Well, the workflow doesn't just stop there. Doctors step in to review that recommendation. They consider the patient's unique medical history, discuss treatment options, and make the final clinical decision. The AI contributes incredibly valuable analysis, but human expertise remains absolutely essential. Let's move on to Section 4, when the unexpected happens. This human element becomes even more critical when we look at the sheer unpredictability of the real world. Even as self-driving vehicles become common, constantly evaluating road conditions and operating within carefully designed boundaries, things don't always go to plan. Out in the wild, the real world is full of surprises. Equipment fails, weather changes in an instant, people behave completely unpredictably, and entirely new situations appear out of nowhere. Human judgment becomes most valuable precisely when these unexpected situations occur and absolutely no previous example exists for the AI to learn from. This distinction is incredibly important to remember as we design future systems. Artificial intelligence is exceptional at recognizing complex patterns. But people are required to actually interpret meaning. We bring the context and judgment that algorithms just don't possess. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, governing powerful technologies. Looking ahead, future AI agents are almost certainly going to become more capable. They'll coordinate increasingly complex infrastructure, support advanced research, and assist businesses globally. But greater capability brings greater responsibility. Society has to collectively decide where automation makes sense and where human oversight remains strictly essential. This isn't the first time humanity has faced this kind of challenge, by the way. Throughout history, every single powerful technology required thoughtful governance: electricity, aviation, nuclear energy, and the internet. Artificial intelligence is absolutely no different.
Its future is going to depend not only on brilliant engineering, but heavily on ethics, law, public trust, and wise leadership. Perhaps the goal shouldn't ever be creating machines that replace human responsibility, but rather creating systems that enhance human capability while keeping us firmly in control of those highly consequential decisions.
Because technology will always push the boundaries to answer the question, what can we build? But humanity must step up to answer the far more important ethical question, what should we build? Artificial intelligence may eventually become extraordinarily autonomous, but I want to leave you with this powerful thought. Wisdom has never been measured by intelligence alone. It is measured by responsibility. And responsibility will always, always begin with people. Which leaves us with one final thought. If we eventually build machines that can entirely think for themselves, what exactly does it mean to be the one responsible for them? In our next explainer, we'll explore an extraordinary vision. What will everyday life look like when every person has multiple AI agents working together? And how could that transform society itself? If you enjoyed this explainer and want to explore the future of AI, ethics, and innovation, I have a quick request to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications and join us for the next one. See you next time.